Alrighty, so now we've got really just one big piece of hardware left, which is, video. So it's a 4070 Ti, which, if you're watching this live, I saw that Black Friday, that these were about $100 off right now on Amazon. Exclamation point Amazon if you're watching live, or there's a link in the description in YouTube. And so it's pretty big savings because I paid over $800 for this one. And it, I didn't know it was going to go on sale. I didn't know it was going to take me this long to build it. So, whatever. Anyway, Gigabyte motherboard, and I did go with a Gigabyte video card. And here they have a package of legal notices. Oh, an installation guide. An anti-sag bracket. All right, let's see if we need that. Maybe. We'll find out. I don't want sag. Oh, there's a lot of stuff that came in this. All right, so this is not the cheap line one. This is the Oris. Is it the or Arrow? Arrow? Maybe it's Arrow. Anyway, this was not the cheapest version. This one looks like it comes with some extras. I don't know if the other ones come with like the anti-sag bracket or not. But so it looks like we've got a couple brackets here, probably for a couple different configurations. I wonder if this comes with a bridge for mounting it sideways. Oh, interesting. Is this a power connector? Not fully plugged in, fully plugged in. Please only use official 16-pin to 8-pin PCI adapter that comes with your graphics card purchase, and make sure the adapter is fully plugged in. Right. Okay. So, okay. I wonder why. We got a couple of connections here, and it's all into this one connection. I'm a little bit wondering why, instead of just plugging two connections in on the other one. But let's see what we got here, because I've got a power supply that should do the trick here. And all right, Gigabyte qualified. What does that mean? Qualified. Is that like a return? I did not buy this as a return. Gigabyte qualified. What does that mean? I would hope the Gigabyte qualified it. It's a Gigabyte card. Is there potential that this was a return? I'm going to be pretty upset if that's the case, because I did not buy any refurb or anything, and I tend to not buy refurbs. That's a pretty basic rule that I have for myself, is that unless I really need to, I don't buy refurbs. You just have more of a chance of problems with it, and I want less problems. So, right. Let's see what we got here. Wow, this is a huge block opening here. It doesn't really look like it's a refurb. And I certainly don't see any grime on it or anything. So I would assume that it's been plugged in before, that I'd be able to see some sort of... Looks fine to me. So, yeah, I don't think that that this was a refurb at all. Oh, this is interesting. So here's why the connector there. That is some different power connector there that is not the common stuff that we have. And so hence that special adapter. And I'm looking here at, PCIe cables. Let's see here. Here they are. Thinking here about what's really going on here. And so so it's not using the extra ones on here. I wonder. Seems as a few years ago, all Gigabyte cards come with that sticker. All right, Knight. Well then, maybe that's, it's all fine then. So I just, being an Eve player, I don't trust anything. You know how that goes? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, do I use... Okay, so here's something to take into consideration with this video card, is that while this is a very nice video card, 4070 Ti Super, the Super part of it is 16 gigs of memory instead of 8. And I don't know if I'm going to need that much or whatnot, but it's what I got. And, but, we're not too far away from the 50 series being announced. And I'm probably going to fork out the dough for a 50 series and make this my secondary. So I will be having 2 video cards in here. And it's going to be... it's going to take up all the space in here, I'm sure. But, so I'm just thinking here about what kind of connectors are going to be on the 50 series. It's probably going to be something like this. I have enough connectors here so that I could have 4 independent cables going in. I don't know that it matters. It may do just fine, all the power on one. But if I can spread it out over more, maybe. Maybe that's better. Maybe not. I don't know. But there we have it. So use these 2. And they all come with, oh no, this just has the single connectors. So we're gonna plug this into the power supply, and then this other end together like this into the video card. And actually, it's not even going to go into the video card. It's going to go into this, which is going to combine it back down into this. Fine, whatever. That's fine. However they want to do it, I can go with that. I'm okay with that. So let's take a look here. As you can see, when I was saying that it's going to be a tight fit, the primary card is going to go here. Secondary card probably right here, might have to go right here. If it has to go right here, hopefully it has enough clearance here. We might have to reconfigure how the airflow works. I might have to actually remove these fans, depending. You don't want them too close. You want a little bit of a gap there. And so, I mean, that's okay because I can put them up in the front of the case or whatever, and in the side back here. So I have plenty of air intake locations. But this one's going to go right in here. And so that is the plan. And let's see here. Can we? Not a very good view of it. Let's see. It's hard to get a good view on. There we go. Maybe that's good. Okay, so I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to need to take out just two. This is 3 slots, I think, on this, or is it just 2? So I take out 2 slots, and third one will be blocked. Should be fine. Now to find my screwdriver. All right, let's see here. Oh, no, I don't think I'm taking out that one. I suspect I'm taking out this one and this one. Measure again. Yep. All right. All right, those are out. I don't know about this anti-sag bracket thing. I'm a jig. Am I going to have sagging problems on this? I'm not even sure where the anti-sag bracket would plug into or screw into. It's like, you know, I guess I'm going to need pictures of how this is supposed to work. Because I have never used an anti-sag bracket before, and so I actually don't really have a good concept of it. So I don't think that there was a book in here that mentioned it was an anti-sag bracket. All right, installation guide. Oh, interesting. Gonna screw in down here? No. Really? Well, maybe we mount the card and then take a look at it in relation to this stuff here. Oh, I see. This one screws in here and here on the motherboard and then sticks out here, and then I screw it in on the back. I don't know. Am I going to have issues with this thing sagging? I mean, I hope not. I don't know. Let's see here. I mean, I guess that they're including it for a reason, although I've never used an anti-sag bracket before. I've never really seen something like that used before. And so I feel like I don't have very much space to work with here. I got all this shit out here everywhere. All my mess from the build. All right, we're going to pull all this plastic off before I put this in there. Missed the garbage. All right, so anything on the other side? Yes, there is. And yes, it's blocking some of the airflow. So this one could almost be missed and not taken off. Or you could leave a piece of it off on there. All right. I don't see any more on it. Something keeps making noise back there. You know, the cat put all my rifters back here in his normal being a catness. Yeah. Okay. Put this puppy in. All right. This right here, I was wondering why it wasn't going in. There's a slide here for putting this in. You slide it back. I didn't realize it needed to be slid back. So I was wondering why the foot wasn't going in. Boy, that's tight fit. Wait. All right. The foot lock is in there. What concerns me is that, I mean, it's so tight in there. I'm never getting my hand down in there to release that, and I'm certainly not getting it from the other side. It's locked in there now. So better not need to pull it out again. It feels tight. Just making sure that the none of it's popped out at all. And then let's get this screwed in here. This fit is just so tight. I want to try just screwing in this one. Gosh, my fingers are just too big. This one started. Wow, I'm having a hard time getting that in. I need, all right, I'm gonna have to push on that other side. My other hand. And hold the whole case in place at the same time. I just need to get a little bit of flex in this case here. There we go. Okay, that's what I needed. All right, it's in. Not going anywhere. Now, let's see here. Anti-sag stuff. I mean, I don't know. It looks like it's sagging it all after I get it set up and stuff. Then I think I'll install that bracket. I'm not sure that I want to. I'm not sure that I want to. I don't know if I need it. Don't get upset that I'm sending it to you when it's done. Right. I think you'd only need to send me 6,500 or something like that. Maybe something like that. All right, so now the power on this. Not sure. Where did I put it? Damn. I'll put it someplace. Oh, it's still over here. Now I'm going to keep this bag. It's a good good bag for an old video card. And then I guess, you know what, I do want to look at this just a little bit on the anti-sag stuff, because so what this does is this screws in, oh gosh, under here. Wow, that's going to put a little bit of No, that can't be right. That that feels a little strange. And then this other one here, it's like, is there a hook on the back of this or something? There are 2 screw holes back here. Look at that. Yeah, but I don't have anything to connect that to. So unless it connects to this other one. I'm not so sure it does. All right, I'm not going to worry about it right now. Stuff's going into the box. If I think it's having a problem with sagging, then I shall I'll dig the stuff out. But otherwise, it's sitting in here. Okay, here's the cable. It's a puzzle. Yeah. All right. So yeah, it's hard to get a focus on that, but these are smaller than this end. Oops. Than this end of things. And so what it's looking like is that it's going to go up here. Oh, this is really interesting. Can't really see it, but there's some little pin connectors right in there. They're little tiny things. There's little, you probably can't hardly see them, but there are little pin connectors in there as well. So that's interesting. This is a new type of plug I really haven't had much dealing with before. So it'll work though. 16-pin burn. You know, it does look a little bit small for some of the wattage. That is kind of my first thought is that it might be a little bit small for the wattage, but I guess I just got to trust that what they're supplying me with is what I need, right? Right, one in. Especially when you're getting like a premium, getting a premium, version of something. I do have a little bit higher expectations that the support for it is going to be a little bit better. You like that it's not a water build? Yeah. So, okay. So my stream machine, it's water, and my game machine was water. The game machine, it sprung a leak in the water, burned the CPU. Some of that leak got onto my video card and the power supply. Power supply went out. And so anyway, just, an all around mess. I'm going air cooled this time. And my next project will be, after I get this done, is I'm going to take the water cooling out of my stream machine, because my stream machine is probably about 6 years old now. And I mean, it does fine. The picture here is fine and everything. It does a great job, but I'm worried about that, and so I can I'll figure out whatever CPU fan I'm going to put in and do that. It's probably around time to replace the fans in there anyway, and I've got a couple of extra. I'm going to end up with a couple of extra of the Noctua fans, and so maybe I'll just end up buying a few more, and so it'll be all good. All right, so this is going to fit in this way, and then I just got to figure out how I want to route the cables and everything. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, God, this thing is so freaking heavy. It's all steel. It's this case is not going anywhere. There ain't nobody stealing this from me unless they have a hand truck. So shouldn't jinx myself on that. All right, here's the power supply, and we're gonna see what connectors we put it into in here. So it looks like there's PCIe, and here's PCIe. So we got a few of them. We got a few choices here. So let's plug it in over on this side, and then we'll decide how we're going to route it out to the other side. Actually, I might be able to just figure that out right now, because there's the card, and so this looks like pretty good, but I got to figure out the airflow on this too. So I don't want to be covering any of the fins. And I wish the power connector wasn't right up here in the middle. I kind of wish it was back here. It'd just be a lot cleaner. No, I didn't get any custom. I didn't buy any custom cables. I don't care what the things look like in here. I care how they perform. And so using the cables that came with the power supply feel fine to me. I'm not going to be looking at my computer going, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. No. I'm going to be playing a game going, I love you, I love you, I love you. The game isn't in here. So I do like the amount of space that we have here for this stuff. So that's good. I just, here's what I'm thinking. I'm a little worried that like, you know, well, I guess I'm going to plug this in here, and because it's going in here no matter what. So no matter what I do, this is going in here, and it doesn't need to come out to reroute the stuff. So, ooh, I heard a nice click in there. And so now just thinking about this, like, I mean, I can run it down here across this. The fans are here though, which I think are all intake. I'm pretty sure they're all intake. And maybe the most likely thing is to just run it out this way, and it's going to be the least amount of blockage on anything. I don't know. I think that's what's, you know, going to be ending up to be the best, unless I want to run it up here like this. It just looks ugly. I mean, granted, I'm not going to be looking in here and going, oh, what a beautiful machine. And then I'm going to have, another fan up here, and then another one that's down here. So I'm probably going to put one up here that just goes straight into this, and then another one down here at the bottom that helps to push air up in here for the intakes on these. Is the CPU cooler fan mount easy? We had to figure out some things with it because it's so massive that it got in the way of the RAM. But you're able to adjust these fans up and down. And so that's what I had to do with this fan. All right, well, I think that this probably feels like most logical. I don't know. So don't let it rest on the cooler. It gets hot. Yeah, so this is the outer portion here. I think that's probably about as good as I'm going to get. I really don't have a better suggestion on this. Because otherwise, if I go and put it up through here, you know, it blocks this. If I put it down here, it's blocking the airflow down here. I think this is the least blockage, even though I don't like the way it looks. I think it's the least blockage. So, boy, there's just a ton of this PCIe CPU connectors. Also, another thing I'm worried about, this machine is potentially going to draw a bunch of power. We'll see if I pop any circuit whenever I turn this on. Airflow. This is kind of nice, the way the cables are back here. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit of a mess, but there's not really a whole lot of airflow that happens back here. This is pretty well enclosed, and so I'm not too worried about it. It's also not visual, you know, in the rest of it. I know I keep saying I don't really care about how it looks, but I mean, I don't want it to be dumb. You'll all laugh at me. Mm-hmm. Probably already laughing at me. So, all right, there it is. And if I need to, I can tie it up to this or back here. And I don't know. we got any sagging here? I don't think so. I don't think it looks like there's any sagging back there. And we're not going to be putting any weight on it. This doesn't have to. Now, if I was going to do something like, so I got the question on the show the other day when I was talking about building this, of somebody who's a over-the-road trucker, and they wanted the power of a PC instead of a laptop for their gaming, because they were gaming whenever they were, holed up different places. And I totally would have a nice setup if I was a trucker and, spending nights out at truck stops or whatnot. You better believe I'd be playing there. We actually have a lot of customers that that are truckers, and military, deployed all over the place and stuff. But anyway, he was asking about building a full PC, and I really recommended against it, because can you imagine a setup like this going through having all the vibration of the truck and everything? It wouldn't happen, and I would 100% require that this thing was locked down with its anti-sag. But I got to say that the anti-sag stuff here, it is a 2-bracket system, and they show it going a couple different ways. Looks like there's multiple parts. I think as long as I'm not throwing this thing around, I mean, they show here, but it actually looks like here, like it is raised off the motherboard. And there's a whole bunch of pins here and stuff that it'd have to go over. I just don't see this happening. This does not make much sense to me. So you suggest using it for the weight over time? Yeah, but I just haven't figured out how to actually get it to line up correctly. I mean, these are the only 2 parts that I got with it. And so this one right here screws in like this, but it's going to have to, it almost looks like it has to go under the board, which doesn't feel right to me, because then we're going to be putting uneven stress. This would be like spacers, and then what are you going to do? You're going to put spacers in the whole motherboard because you're raising the whole thing? No, I don't think so, because you're going to have troubles at the other end here too. From the looks of this, then this here, which goes up into here, and there are screw holes here, so I can screw this in along here. But I really don't feel right about where this one is going to mount, because it's up off of this and this down here. And there's stuff in the way. All right, you know what? If I think about it, this is a Gigabyte video card and a Gigabyte motherboard. So they cannot have been as dumb as putting all of this stuff in the way, knowing that people are going to use brackets like this. And what do I use for the second video card that I put in here, right? So there has to be some other explanation. Like, I am just not looking at this right. And so they've got a riser here to rise this thing above all of these connectors. But what if I have something plugged into those connectors? It's got to rise way up. It shows it here though, rising over the SATA. So there's a package of screws and stuff that came with it. And so you end up screwing down the motherboard, and then you end up screwing into this. And I guess, it could, but really, these connectors down here, you'd never be able to plug anything into them. Because you'd never, like this right here, it'd have to clear all of this, which means you have to hard bend over the wires. So I'm not putting it on. And there's a couple things about this. One is, this is already reinforced, this version. That's one of the things that I read about it. And my motherboard is already reinforced. The motherboard has several metal things on the back of it, beyond the fan mount, that give it extra strength. So I'm leaving it as is. That's what I'm doing. All right. So video card is in. I think we have just a couple more fans to put in, and then maybe we're ready to turn it on.